Welcome to Cosmic Roadmap. I'm your host, Melissa Lambor, Reiki astrogeo guide and author. I support endless wanderers with where they are meant to be in the world. This podcast is for the digital nomad, the avid traveler, and aspiring globetrotter who is seeking their next destination on planet Earth. Join us as we venture around the world through people's stories and how astrogeography has connected them to their planetary energies and purpose. My special guest today is Brandy Knight, aka the Esoteric Exorcist. She is the founder of Inner Caulling LLC. Through her unique approach, she guides current and future leaders into awakening with the use of emotional release, accountability coaching, unapologetic living navigation, and Kundalini yogic science and technology. Brandy is a 3-time international bestselling author and has been featured in a variety of publications such as Authority Magazine, Thrive Global, and Medium.com. She has struck an amazing balance of being a high vibe leader, an amazing mommy, and a crass comedian. Buckle up. What an intro. But yeah, we met through our most recent best-selling book, Lineage Speaks, and another bestseller, Legacy Speaks, back in May. So you can get those books on Amazon and read the amazing, inspiring stories. And all the proceeds will continue to go to amazing nonprofits like YWCA and Alamu Girls. Thank you so much for being here today. And yeah, welcome. So tell me a little bit about how you feel, the clarity that you got from our astrogeo session, and the present, the past, and the future after your reading.
Thank you so much for having me. This experience is really profound, and it's my first experience actually with astrogeo on a professional level. My session was yesterday, so I'm still soaking in all the information, and an immediate present moment now is I had a lot of questions about the area that I'm in, the Seattle area. And I got here in a really wacky way. And that wacky way came with, am I really supposed to be here kind of vibe?
Yeah.
And yes, I am. So yesterday's reading gave me so much important clarity as I'm looking to sign on to a new lease, to extend my stay here in this area without question now. I can settle in. I can set some more roots. I can get to work, because I also learned that this is an area for me to kind of get busy, to get that creative flow going. So that for present moment was just phenomenal. The past and the future kind of go hand in hand. It's a little intertwined. So I have been drawn to a couple of areas, more than a couple, but in particular yesterday, the areas that really struck me were the areas in Mexico, because that is my ancestral,
right?
My heritage.
Yeah.
And so it's something that is a part of my past, but also a part of my future in regards to future plans to go visit, future plans to relocate. And I don't know if you've had this with yourself or with other clients. Mm-hmm. I have my human design makeup. My part of my jam is I have access to all these ideas and all this information, and I can spin out a little bit.
What is your human design?
I'm an emotional manifestor 5/1.
Okay.
So I'm a problem solver. I'm the heretic. I'm the leader, but I'm also I think 6 or 8% of the population on the planet are manifestors, which means I got the info, but I need help to do the thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm the manifesting generator. So I'm constantly putting stuff out. It's a combination of the manifestor and the generator.
Exactly. And so I'm very emotionally driven. I don't know if are you emotionally driven?
I think it's the sacral center. So it is emotional. I believe it's emotional.
Okay. So I don't know about you, but I have a tendency, maybe you've seen this with other people too, to try to convince myself I'm moving towards something, but really at the root, I'm running away.
And I do notice that even with self-development stuff, we can run away with the self-development. We're avoiding the issues by just doing the inner work.
Yes.
But not dealing with the outer work.
Yeah, Totally. So yesterday was just like phenomenal because I had these questions. Okay, I've been really drawn to these areas in Mexico. And now I have more clarity to help me build that foundation of, okay, there is so much more than me trying to run away from anything and trying to convince myself that I'm going towards something, where there's actual roots. My lines are running through there. So that felt like past and future coming together in just like such a powerful way.
Amazing. Yeah. And I did notice that you had your moon line there, which is all about family and also that home energy. And you also had, what was it, your moon node, which is all about purpose, like tapping into your purpose.
Even you say, I have goosebumps. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Goosebumps head to toe as you're saying that. So cool.
Yeah. And it's amazing that those same lines are also over on the East Coast, where you have family ties. Your sister's there, right? In Pennsylvania. Yeah. And then with the book, like the connection to me, to Bridget, with most of the book authors is all in that Jersey area. So you're connecting to your purpose. And the first book was Legacy Speaks.
Yes. Yeah. The first book, Legacy Speaks. You know, magic is real, so to speak. But then like when you see the evidence, oh my God. Yes. So not only is it fun, but it's just so profound because every line that you uncovered for me, there was some real connection there. It just made so much sense. The piece of the puzzle got put into place.
Exactly. And even the most random things, because I mentioned like Maine and Nova Scotia, and you had some connection to your childhood, right? I forget what that connection was. Yeah.
Oh my God. So if anyone's listening to this and resonating, I spent an awkward amount of time watching and reading Anne of Green Gables, specifically the Anne of Green Gables with Megan Fellows. Gilbert Blythe, anyone? Okay, no big deal. So anyway, that was filmed and the story took place. I'm not exactly sure where it was filmed, if I'm honest, but the story took place in that kind of area of Canada. It was just like this. Touched my heart, romantic childhood daydream, all the things. It was just like the most poignant coming of age. Now that I think about it, it's okay. There could have been like maybe some more poignant coming of age stories that I could have obsessed over, but that was such a huge part. When you said that, I was just like, I've like always dreamed of going there because of Anne of Green Gables.
Yes. And I don't even know who that is. I need to look that up after this.
Oh my God. You have to. It's so good.
But yeah, I did notice also, we didn't talk about LA, but your Guru Jagat, who has passed on, she was based there, and you had love energy through there, your Venus line. And yeah, talk a little bit about your journey into Kundalini arts, your healing arts. I know that you had mentioned you were a hairstylist beforehand. So what was that journey like?
Okay, so now, and this didn't even come up yesterday during our session, but it's coming up now. Okay, I've lived in Los Angeles a number of times. And my past kind of experience on that particular love line, I was a hairstylist. So I also styled hair in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I also did hair in Los Angeles. And at the end of my hair career is when I met my baby daddy, who is from Los Angeles. And then once my daughter was born is when I had been into the healing arts for years while I was doing hair. And I was a student, I was in receiving mode, and I was really cutting my teeth as a practitioner, but doing hair at the same time. But once my daughter was born, that's when I really committed full force. And a few years after that is when I got introduced to Kundalini yoga in this particular lineage in Guru Jagat, all in the Los Angeles, in that love line area. The baby daddy, the conception of my daughter and a huge chunk of my family through that connection is also in Los Angeles.
I love
and
that.
I keep going back to LA. I'll go for a year and then I leave. It like spits me out, and then I go back and it spits me out, and then like you've had your fill. No.
It's a bit of a hard love, yeah.
It's like the Baba Yaga.
Love.
Like, hey, you've had
yes, go experience some more energies. You've had enough love.
Yeah, totally.
I love that. And yeah, so where do you see yourself going in the future? I know that you want to go to Mexico. We saw some amazing energies even in the Cancun area. And are you going, soon to Playa del Carmen or?
So I've been researching that whole situation. We have been researching like an actual like complete move. That's on pause. It's not on the no list. It's just on the pause list. And now, as I mentioned earlier, I've really been like working so diligently on making sure that I'm moving towards something. And so part of the pause was deliberate in the sense of, I really want to make sure that this isn't running away from energy. And looking at what we looked at yesterday, that there's some real energy there for me. So I'm looking at on the West Coast and the East Coast of Mexico. That's where I've been previously doing so much research on. And that just happens to be what showed up in my chart.
Yes. You were called there, like even before this. Yeah. Because I know that you're ancestrally, and even with your family, it's been difficult to go back to your ties, right? Back to Mexico.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't alive then. I have my own version of the story from like an outsider. But I do come from people that, for probably reasons that felt like it was safer to deny the Mexican heritage, have been denying Mexican heritage. And it was always weird to me, always so weird. And so I was taking it upon myself to dive into it and to embrace it and try to heal some of those ties. And just again, seeing my chart yesterday, it's just, oh my God, no, this is definitely, we're etching this in stone. We don't have to have the date. We don't have to have, I say we, because, my partner is actually his family's from Mexico. We came together on that level too. A lot of clarity around, okay, yes, these are spaces where I will thrive.
I love that. And yeah, for me in particular, Guatemala, where my ancestors are from, where my family's from, is neutral for me. And I have a lot more lines in the Spain area. And that was an area that I resisted for so long, because I'm like, they colonized my ancestors, especially my indigenous ancestors. That is where my love lines run through. And I'm like,
really?
I'm ready. Yeah. I'm like, I'm ready to just connect full on with that energy, because I've been on my Pluto line, that rebirth and transformative energy, which has been amazing to work through the shadows, but I'm ready to connect with that energy. So my work, I hope it allows people to connect to places that they wouldn't have thought of in the past, or maybe they had some preconceived notions of what was there, but realizing, I need to collab. I need to start collaborations, or maybe an organization in that particular area. So that, moving into moving into conscious travel. So that's why I love this work. And when people realize, oh my goodness, I didn't realize, that I should connect with that place. So I love that you're reconnecting with your lineage, and now you have confirmation that it truly is meant to be. It was written in the stars.
I love that that's what you say. It's written in the stars. That means so much to me, because for my work, I'm working with the star system of the body, the meridian points of the body. Previously, I thought it was kind of like tumultuous, but what I realized is I was following some sort of, as you would say, a cosmic roadmap, where I was putting, or at least maybe contributing to these points of light on the planet. And so what I got, another kind of aspect or level that I got out of yesterday's session, is it's not just what's beneficial to me, but it also feels like it's a part of my actual path and purpose to go to these places. Which feels really good.
Yeah. And I love that I could make that connection and give you that clarity. Someone recently was asking if am I supposed to be like an energy worker, like a grid worker, which has constantly been coming up. And I'm like, I guess I am. Even though I don't realize there isn't this official title that I'm like walking into. because we all make up what we're doing little by little.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then it's someone on the outside and they look at you and they're like, no, you're this. And yeah, I'm realizing that I am this light being, this light worker, and I'm connecting people to the cosmos in some way, right? Through this work, through astrogeography. So yeah, it's something deeper that I want to get into. And I mentioned it in my chapter about Sirius. And maybe
Yes.
I am a starseed. I don't know. Maybe that's why I mentioned it.
I don't really think there's any maybes about
it. You're like, it's definite. Yeah.
In this saying, you could take it in a multitude of directions, but as above, so below. The stars in the sky reflect the map in the sky, reflecting the map on the planet. Potentially, I 100% see you as someone who like redefines what grids are and how they're developed and how they're shared and taught. Like innovation around that work, but I also think it's so important. I'm also seeing the artwork of it, like creating like a star. I don't know. I don't know if you see this, but it's like this gorgeous star system in the sky. What does that look like? What does it look like when you bring like the earthly elements to it? It's like these little pins of light popping up through the water and popping up through the trees and pop. So take that in the sense of just no maybes about it. You're here with a heavy magnitude. And so you're bringing this really important work to the planet that I think is new for a lot of people.
Yeah. And even bringing these conversations, right? There isn't a podcast like this out in the world. And a bunch of people tell me that. And because I really do want to bring these stories of people connecting to their planetary energies. It's just not something that people are talking about. And yeah, I just hope that people take that information for sustainable, ethical travel, like moving forward, not the exploitative travel that we've seen up to this point and what our ancestors had experienced. So yeah, it's a movement. It's definitely a movement. The Cosmic Roadmap movement.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm buying my ticket.
Yes. So how can people work with you? What are the offerings that you have in place? And yeah, I just love what you do and all the transformations that I've heard from your past clients. Yeah, tell us a little bit.
Well, thank you for asking. So I offer a number of different things because I like to cater session work person to person. So responsible emotional release work, accountability coaching, how to navigate unapologetic living, the shadow side of that. And I always bring in Kundalini yogic science and technology because that is the most powerful tool out there for you to do for you. I'm a huge fan of people doing the thing themselves in regards to like this healing arts work. Get the Reiki, get the massage, get the readings, do all that. Yeah. I love that. It's just not what I necessarily bring to the table. I think that we need to all have tools on board that we apply to ourselves. So I'm walking my clients through how to release emotions if they're backlogged emotions to set themselves free so they can feel what that energetic reserve looks like and what's available to them. Accountability coaching looks like I called in everything in my life in order to learn and grow, known or unknown. And that's a tough one. That's a big doozy if that's new to you. And then the shadow side of unapologetic living looks like when you're a front-facing leader, there's going to be people that don't like you, that don't like what you're bringing to the table. How do you handle that? How do you reflect it? How do you strengthen your nervous system to be able to continue to be front-facing? Yes. And then the Kundalini yogic technology and the science and technology and the mantric technology is just the name of the game to have on your side in order to do all the things for all 10 bodies and really just see you through to the other side.
I love it. I love it.
If you would like to get into contact with me, you can hop on my website. It's innercalling.com. All the links to all the things are there. I'm most active on Instagram, same thing at Inner Calling. And my phone number is there. You can call me. You can email me. I'm old school. I want to connect with you person to person before we do anything. Okay. You could be like, hey girl, what's up? I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm not for everyone. I'm really not. I'm crass. I'm a stickler, but I'm super loving at the same time. I'm very upfront and open about that in the beginning, that I'm a stickler because I want you to have, or the client to have the most transformation in the shortest amount of time so you can get to your mission.
All right. Everybody sign up but tell us a little bit about Kundalini, because I'm a baby Kundalini yogi or yogini, but yeah, tell people a little bit about it because it does help my nervous system. I'm not a natural speaker. Like even doing this podcast is very difficult for me, but I'm working through it. And I know that we need to show up not for ourselves, but for the people that we're trying to help. So yeah, tell us a little bit.
Totally. I've studied both lineages. When I say both, I'm talking about the Sikh lineage and then, why am I blanking? The lineage that's more, oh my goodness.
It's all good.
Hindu.
Yeah, there we go.
I had a blank. Like, you have not been practicing this. So there's like the Sikh, which is maybe a fresher transmission of a lineage than the Hindu side of things, which is thousands and thousands of years old. The lineage that I am drawn to the most is what would be more considered like the Sikh side of things. Are all people that practice Kundalini Sikh or Hindu? No. Are all Sikhs and Hindu, do they practice Kundalini? No. This isn't a religion, but it got this information, this technology got received and translated through those particular lines. That's what we know today. That's what we know. So the lineage that I work with is working with, like you, the meridian or the star system, the acupressure points of the body, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the glandular system, the lymphatic system, the parasympathetic system, all the systems of the body. And we're also working with the Akash, the subconscious. We're also working with the neocortex, the conscious. Okay. We're working with every single system of the body in a way where, let's say you have your cell phone and you're typing in a code that grants you access to a particular app or whatever. I'm going to unlock my phone. I type in the code and there it is. Anything that you apply to the system within the Kundalini yogic technology, you're typing in a code that gives you access to a certain thing, whether it's confidence or love or prosperity or healing. That's with the meditations, the kriyas, the mantra. Everything we're doing is very specific. And one of the reasons why, and maybe you do love mantra too, but have you ever seen the videos of you have the water molecule or the plate of sand and it's vibrated at a certain frequency and it creates a sacred geometry? Yes. That's what we're doing within the water molecules of our system. We are becoming majority water. Yes. So we're becoming the sacred geometry that the sound code that we're typing in at the upper palate star system of the roof of the mouth, we are becoming physiologically the sacred geometry of what the mantra is intending, or what the meditation is intending, or what the kriya is intending. So it's very scientific. It's not very spiritual. People have spiritual experiences all the time with it, but this is a science. It
is. And there is a connection with the planets too, right? Where each finger relates to a planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. I was just doing one of the kriyas and the pinky is the moon and the pointer is the Jupiter.
Right? Yep. And this is Saturn. So Saturn, but seriously, so Kundalini is a very Saturn, it's a Saturn practice. It's a Saturn technology. And there are some mudras where you're exercising the Saturn finger. You don't ever want to necessarily amplify the energy of the Saturn finger, especially if you're already practicing Kundalini. I don't need any more hard lessons, right? It's like I show up to hard yoga.
Because Saturn in astrogeo, the way I look at it is for discipline and perseverance. So it like you said, it's the hard lessons. Yeah, it's more of that rigid, structured energy. So
yes.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you so much, Brandy, for being on. Definitely reach out to her. She's an amazing light being. So thank you. And remember,
thank you so much.
Yeah. I leave you with this quote: lineage goes beyond our ancestors. You are meant to connect to the cosmos so you may finally find your cosmic family. Until next time. Thank you for listening to Cosmic Roadmap. If you're curious about astrogeography and where you're meant to be on the planet, go to cosmicroadmap.com to download your free passport to purpose. You can also book a session with me where we can explore your own cosmic roadmap and chart your next destination in business, love, and life.